Good morning. I really think you're gonna enjoy today's vlog. I got something really interesting to talk about, and also I kind of have a fun idea, although Shauna's not gonna be with me, so that's gonna suck a little bit. But anyway, first things first, gotta go to work cleaning out some gutters today. If you spend all morning cleaning out gutters, what do you think your reward should be? Yeah, can I get a dozen? I'd like to get 6 chocolate ice glazed and 6 original glazed, please. Yeah, that'll be all. Yeah, it's so friendly here in Pensacola. Okay, work done. Picked up some donuts as a I'm sorry that you are not gonna be with me when I do this really cool thing. That is done. Now, I wanna ride my skateboard across the 3 Mile Bridge. Okay, probably not like all the way across it, but at least up to the highest point. I just think it'd be really cool. So, let's talk about fear today. The sun's coming up today. It's a good thing too, I was a little nervous. No, absolutely you did not misread that. That was 2 weeks ago, over 2 weeks ago. Oh my goodness, it has been a long couple of weeks. I know for you guys, you just saw me like a few seconds ago. I haven't seen you in 2 weeks. So I hope you're doing good, but the topic of discussion has not changed. Fear. Let's talk about fear, not 2 weeks ago or over 2 weeks ago. Let's talk about fear today. I think that fear manifests itself in all different, seatbelt, dadgummit. I swear I've been doing really good lately. I think fear manifests itself in all kind of different ways. I think that there's the brutally obvious fear, just like that fear, like when it's like the fear of a bug or a spider or a snake or something like that. There's that really obvious, that thing right there scares me. I think there is anxiety. I think that there is worry. I think that there is stress. Honestly, I think all of those things have root in fear. If you're worried about something, I strongly believe that there's a fear of the unknown. Stress. I think you're stressed about the unknown. The reason that you're anxious, that you're stressed, all those things, I honestly believe that they have roots in fear. I think fear has its biggest root in not trusting God. I really do think that if you were to take the emotion, the thoughts of fear, I think if you were to peel that onion as far back as you can, the very core of that would be, that's an area that you're not trusting God 100%. Am I crazy, or have we talked about this before? Well, whether we have or we haven't, here we go again. I think that all fear, I'm going to say it again, I think that all fear has a root in not trusting God in that area. When we have fear of an outcome of a job, when we have fear of something that's going on in relationships, when we have fear of something, where am I going? When we're afraid that we're going to make a wrong turn, not just on this road that I'm on, but in life. Stupid. Alex, don't be stupid. I think all of that has roots in an area where we haven't placed our trust in God fully. And that is kind of what I wanted to talk about, more so than just the emotion of fear, because we could all say, hey, just don't be afraid, or hey, give it to God. And if you're in Christian circles and if you're saved, you know, we've all heard that, oh, just give it all to God, give it to God, let it go, trust God. And it's like, yeah, that's easier said than done when you're walking in the middle of the mess. So let's talk about those two things. How do we fully trust God, and how do we give fear to God? How do we give those situations to God? How do we really just completely let go, give the emotions, the thoughts, the stress, the worry, all of it, give it over to God and say, God, I'm trusting you. How do we actually do that? Yeah, well, I'm going to have to wrap this one up quick because now my kids are going bananas, and I understand that this answer is not going to be the funnest answer in the world, but let's start with, how do we trust God when it comes to the things that we're anxious about, the things that we fear? The simple answer is one day at a time. It's when we try to get the entire picture and we try to figure out how everything is going to pan out. If you're not going to let me finish my vlog, then you're going to be a part of it. You sit here and you mind your manners. But I think if we're going to try to trust God for the entire picture and figure out how everything is going to pan out, it's not always going to work that way. We're not always going to get steps A through Z. We're not always going to be able to see the final picture. And sometimes if we could see the final picture, we're not going to like what we see anyway. And I think the simple, not just the simple, I think the smart answer about trusting God is not try to trust God for, trust God, yes, for the future, but don't try to see the future and trust God for months away and the picture and all of that. Trust God for today. Trust God for the next hour. Like, okay, God, I got you to take care of me for this next hour. I got you to take care of, like, you got me in this season, but you got me for the next hour. I don't know what tomorrow looks like. I'm anxious about this, but right now, I can control right now. The next 5 minutes, me and you. And I think trusting God starts with trusting God for the minute, trusting God for the hour. And as I'm saying this, I'm like, man, it sounds, I don't know if y'all need to hear that, but I need to hear that. It sounds, I think it's tomorrow's vlog. I'm behind on editing, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But I was talking about how God keeps leading me back to the most simple of principles, the simple things. And is that funny? And it sounds so basic and elementary, like, yeah, don't look too far in the future and don't believe God from A to Z, believe God for just the next step. Like, let's get to B, then we'll worry about C. And it sounds like, golly, I almost don't even want to edit this. I almost don't even want to put this in there, but it's so true. It's so real. It's like, God, I can't even see tomorrow. That's the big thing, is we can't even fathom how tomorrow is going to be better, or how next month is going to be okay, or how things are going to work out. But like, yeah, I can see the next 5 minutes. I can do that. So I think that's the beginning. And this is the main point that I wanted to hammer home when it came to fear and me dealing with fear in my life. The biggest, is that a puppy over there? Okay, you gotta be quiet, you're distracting me. The biggest thing about fear is, God, I can't express this enough, and especially if you came up in the kind of circles that I came up in the name it and claim it kind of like faith, speak it into existence types, which there's so much in that that's powerful. I'm not discounting that, but I'm saying we almost get to the point to where there are power in words, but to the point to where we're almost afraid to talk to God about certain things because we don't want to say it out loud. And I get where we're coming from, but it so robs you of intimacy with God. And that was a place where I was at, and I didn't realize it, but when it came to things that I was afraid of in my life, fear that my company was not going to make it, fear that I wasn't going to be a good business owner, the fear of being a good husband. Well, don't say it. God, I'm afraid that my company might fail, or I'm afraid that, okay, or God, like, I'm afraid I'm not going to be a good husband, or I'm afraid I'm going to fall, or I'm afraid I'm going to fail. Like, don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud. And it's like, hold on a second. There's got to be a place of like this secret place between you and God, to where are you saying things that you're not trying to declare into existence and put power to, but there's also got to be a safe, intimate, quiet, secret place between you and God, to where all your heart's things that you can give him. Why would the Bible say, cast your cares upon me, but don't say it, but don't talk to me, don't say it out loud, don't talk to me about it. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's the biggest point that I want to hammer home, is when it comes to fear and anxiety and things like that, you're going to have to draw your own line between complaining and mulling over it and just going to God, constantly talking about it, or having a genuine conversation with your Father, like, and drawing a line in the sand in a good way and saying, God, I'm going to talk to you about this once, and I'm going to come out with resolve, and we're not going to bring it up again, but I need to talk to you. I'm really afraid right now. I have these thoughts of this, and I know it's not true, but I need you to help me because I'm afraid. I need my dad. And man, there's just something so powerful about that vulnerability. Come here. Come on, your sister done ruined it. Come on, you too. You too?
Don't you have so much stuff to do?
I do. Vlogging is one of them. I got to finish. I started this 2 weeks ago. It is a shovel. Come here. Come here. Come on, you can wrap it up. Come here. Come sit with me. You can wrap it up. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. No, say hi right here. Hi. Hi. There's something so powerful about being vulnerable enough and being intimate enough with, or vulnerability breeds intimacy. Being willing to say, God, I'll show you even the things that make me feel like less than. Even I'm afraid, and I don't feel stupid to tell you that. I want to tell you that because I know that you're not going to judge me for it or be mad at me for it, but you're going to encourage me. You're going to father me through it. I finally think that I'm done. Launch out into the deep, guys. Lely loves you. She would like to say, launch out into the deep, and she would like to say, don't just watch YouTube all day long. Launch out into the deep. Launch out into the deep things of God, and hopefully I will see you on the next one.